Hello there, my name is Disney Miss Lizzie and welcome to this very special review of Pooh Corner and Ashdown Forest, aka the 100-Acre Wood. Located an hour just outside of London, Pooh Corner and Ashdown Forest is a real treat for any Winnie the Pooh fan. So join me as I venture to Pooh Corner and the 100-Acre Wood. Our first stop is going to be Pooh Corner, which is the Winnie the Pooh cafe, museum and shop. Now, if you're driving, you will have to be aware that parking is quite limited. You can park for free along Hartfield High Street. However, if you are driving down on the weekend, you can park at St Mary's COV Primary School. This also includes bank holidays and school holidays. If you are travelling by bus, however, there are plenty of bus stops located nearby. You can also pick up the £1.50 map for free from the Winnie the Pooh cafe, so long as you have a valid bus ticket. So once you arrive at Pooh Corner, you are instantly transported into the world of Winnie the Pooh. There is delightful Winnie the Pooh wallpaper, there is beautiful Winnie the Pooh pictures, including Disney posters and the original illustrations, and you're sat down amongst the Winnie the Pooh merchandise. So while you're there, you will be seated very quickly because you only have a certain amount of time to get your drinks and eat. If the cafe is busy, because it does come on a first come, first serve basis, unless you've booked for the afternoon tea. But if you're there and it's particularly busy, you are free to roam around the gift shop and the museum, which is all located in the same building until a table comes up. So the service here was so quick, more or less as soon as we sat down, we were given a menu. Shortly afterwards, our orders were taken and we both had hot drinks, both my husband and I. He had a coffee and I had a hot chocolate in the best Winnie the Pooh mug. I very nearly tried to take it home. I didn't, but it's one of my favourite styles from the Disney store. So anyway, once your food arrives, you can then eat and enjoy the ambiance. And so how would I rate the food there? Because there's one thing of saying, yes, this is a lovely cafe, but how is the food? Well, I'm very pleased to say that the food is delicious. I had a jacket potato with beans and cheese, and it's one of my favourite comfort foods. And I have to say, it's one of the best ones I've had in ages. That isn't just for me to say, oh, you know, for the sake of this review, it actually really was delicious. And then for afters, I had a vegan chocolate brownie, which again was lovely. That went very, very quickly. Another good thing is that the Winnie the Pooh cafe is dog friendly. So after eating at the cafe, which was exquisite and lovely and very, very traditional English, we then ventured into the museum and the gift shop. Now, everything is all on the same site. So once you finish the cafe, you go straight through and there's a huge Winnie the Pooh to your left. Then when you venture to your right, you have the gift shop, which, although small, it doesn't feel like it's missing anything. There's stuff there for everybody. And it's the same with the museum. Although it's a tiny, tiny fraction, it's jammed packed. And there's also some really cool details in there regarding Mary Poppins, because when you go into the Winnie the Pooh cafe, there is a random statue of Mary Poppins, because Winnie the Pooh and Mary Poppins were also the last films that Walt Disney was part of, as well as the music was composed and created by the same brothers who created Mary Poppins. So there is a strong link between Pooh Bear and Mary Poppins. So that was really cool finding that out. And then afterwards went back into the gift shop and I managed to pick up this really, really cute Winnie the Pooh postcard, which is of Pooh Bear doing his stretches. So at some point he will live there. And these are £1 as well. So it's not too badly priced if you wanted to come away with some original Winnie the Pooh images. But these are really nice. There was tons more. There's some with Piglet blowing a dandelion, some with Christopher Robin and the 100-Acre Wood. There's tons, so I really would recommend going for that. And I think one of the biggest things as well is that it doesn't feel gimmicky and it doesn't single out anyone who may be a fan of either the books but may not be so keen on the Disney version of Winnie the Pooh and vice versa. Even if you don't actually like Winnie the Pooh, it's still a good opportunity to go and see something new. It's sort of how I viewed Studio Ghibli's My Neighbor Totoro on the West End stage. If you've never seen My Neighbor Totoro, it doesn't matter because there's something there for everyone, and you can take away something from it. And I felt the same with the Winnie the Pooh Cafe, that even if you aren't the biggest Winnie the Pooh fan, or you can't really warm to it, I would still recommend going because it is such a special cafe. And afterwards, you can go and walk all the lovely food off in the 100 Acre Wood, which is where we're off to next. So to get to the 100 Acre Wood, you have several options. So to get there, you can either walk, which takes about 40 minutes. You can drive, which is a 5-minute journey from the cafe. So the Pooh car park, which is the one that we went to, takes you to Owl's house, Piglet's, Pooh's house, and the Pooh Bridge. If you go a little bit further along to the Piglet car park, that will take you further into the 100 Acre Wood, or Ashdown Forest as it is called. And there you can see a lot more. It's meant to be a lot more hillier to climb. So if you do have mobility issues, or you are thinking of going with younger children or taking a pram, then it is highly recommended that you don't go to those sections. So as you walk down the forest, you will see 2 tiny little doors, and these are Piglets and Owls. And they're very much like fairy doors. So if you can imagine the tiny fairy doors that you get in the garden centre to put in your tree, that is essentially Pooh and Piglet's houses. And there's even little signs to say, please knock, which is adorable. I wasn't expecting it. To be fair, I knew there was the Pooh Bridge, but I didn't expect to see the houses. And it is delightful, absolutely delightful and enchanting. And it takes you back to, I don't want to say an innocent time, but it just takes you back to your childhood, where everything just felt magical, that there really could be Piglet in there and owls up at the top, and it's lovely. It was one of my favourite parts of the day. If you are also planning to do Pooh sticks, I would recommend bringing your own beforehand, because everybody wants to do Pooh sticks. There are no sticks to find. It's virtually impossible. So bring your own, and then you can play Pooh sticks. So you will come across a little ravine. Little ravine. You think, that can't be, surely that's not it. But it isn't. The Pooh Bridge is a lot bigger. So as you go across, you will bump into a meadow and forest, and you will see some sheep grazing. And there you will see the Pooh Bridge, where you can play Pooh sticks. And that was lovely. It's just a very tranquil place.
There it is! Yay!
So now our final journey through the 100 Acre Wood is to visit Pooh Bear's house. Now, unlike Piglet and Owls, Pooh Bear's door is ever so slightly bigger, but you still have to keep an eye out for it because you can just easily walk past. So when you reach Pooh Bear's door, you must knock on the door, and every so often there will be letters for him, as well as honey pots and other treats for the bear. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me on this very magical journey to the 100 Acre Wood and Pooh Corner. If you like what I do and want to know more, then please hit that subscribe button, like and share this video, and you can always follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and you can also follow my character voices page over on TikTok by following Lizzie's Voices. So anyway, thank you so much, have an awesome day, and I will see you in the very next video. Okay, bye guys, bye.